right out of the gate with this news. The Eagles have released Jordan Matthews after just 2 games back with the team. Matthews was signed during the bye week. He played 73 snaps on Sunday with both Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar ruled out. In his last 2 games here, he managed just 3 catches for 33 yards. And we're up and running on this edition of Quick Slants presented by Nissan with Barrett Brooks. I'm Derrick Gunn. Eagles lose 2 in a row, and heads are starting to roll.
Have to, man. You get paid for your performance, and 3 catches just wasn't enough to keep him on the roster. We understand that, he was put in a position where it's almost like he couldn't succeed. Carson wasn't playing well, and then the fact that, he didn't go out there perform the way they thought he should perform. Okay, then, they threw the ball over 40 times yesterday, over 40 times.
Right.
And as a receiver, he should have accounted for it because he was the lead dog yesterday. He was the guy that was supposed to get the major part of the balls that Carson's supposed to throw. Either he wasn't open, he wasn't making any plays, or, I don't know. But when you are the number 1 receiver, you have to go out there and make a difference, and he did not do that.
Was anybody making a difference on that offense?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yesterday? Last week? Now, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
I'm just saying, if you're using him as an example, maybe to wake some people up, I can think of some other people that should be cut.
I know
before
that.
Jordan Matthews.
No question.
We talk about he only had 3 catches. Well, somebody's got to get the ball his way for him to get more looks, right?
No question.
You're not going to cut the franchise quarterback, obviously.
Are you saying we should?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's some other pass catchers who can't.
Like who?
Well, see, a guy who can't track balls in the light or when the wind's blowing. You got another guy sitting on a
Shots
bench
fired.
who hasn't played.
We got receivers that don't claim to be receivers.
A guy who was cleared to play on Friday who didn't play on Sunday. I'm just saying, you want to make some heads turn and catch some eyes. You make a significant bump.
I think that's a direct reflection of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because
yes,
I think Alshon's coming back, and I think Nelson's coming back.
He's supposed to be back.
He was odd man out.
Alshon was supposed to be back Sunday.
He wasn't back.
What happened?
Did you see him on the field? Did you see 17 on the field? Did you see him dressed?
I don't know.
Well, he was clear to play, right?
He could have been hiding for all I know. I don't know.
Is that what he's doing?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just saying. All right, let's go to Carson Wentz. Dealing with poor play on the field and injury as well. Wentz has a bruised right throwing hand, but should be fine to play this Sunday against the Dolphins. That, according to head coach Doug Peterson. Wentz injured the hand while trying to make a tackle after a fumble against the Seahawks on Sunday. It was one of the 4 turnovers on the day for the quarterback. Now, Wentz has looked like a far cry from the 2017 MVP caliber season he put together, especially as of late. The numbers don't do justice to the struggles we've seen as of late. Second garbage time touchdown brought his passer rating up to 75, but he's thrown a pair of picks and 5 fumbles over that time. His 4 turnovers yesterday were a career high. He's been under siege, getting sacked 8 times in those 2 games. Let's go to Mr. Wentz from yesterday on his issues.
I have to, be better. I have to lead this team better. I got to protect the football better. We can't put it on the ground the way we did. And it starts with me. And I'm frustrated. I know everyone's frustrated with this loss offensively. Like I said, turning the ball over starts with me. I got to be better, and we will be. And every time we got something going, we turn it over. And that's, a handful of those were on me, and it starts with me. I got to protect the football, and you can't win many games with 5 turnovers, like that. So, our defense played great again, gave us a fighting chance again, and offensively we let them down.
Okay, you heard the QB. How concerned are you about Wentz long term?
I'm not concerned about Wentz long term, but I am concerned about the coaches that are coaching him long term. We're talking about, a situation where in 2017, that's not the same coaches that are coaching him right now. At this point, Frank Reich was in his ear saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. John DeFilippo, he was in his ear telling him you need to do this, you need to do that. Does he trust the coaching staff that he has right now? Is Press Taylor in his ear enough telling him the right things to do? Those are, you play as you prepare. I'm a firm believer. If you go out there and you practice with excellence, you go out there and play with excellence. And at this point, I don't see them doing that. I don't see the entire team. So maybe we need to go back to coaching and see who's coaching them. And Mike Grove's got to be more of a coach to him also. He's got to make sure that he's in his ear, making sure he's playing at an optimal level. And right now, he's not. Press Taylor, Carson Wentz, all these guys are intimately tied to Carson Wentz. And if he's not playing well, then his offense isn't playing well, then this team is not going to, they're going to continue to lose and they're not going to win. So, when they had Frank Reich there, He was playing at an MVP level. We were calling plays in which would help him out a lot more. John DeFilippo was in his ear. Never been that voice of reason. Hey, Carson, you need to do this better. You need to do that better. I mean, at this point, I don't see him maturing at the rate that he needs to be maturing at, especially since he's the franchise quarterback and especially since he's making all this money. He is the head guy in charge. He is the highest paid player on the team. Of course, it's going to be a direct reflection of him is what's going on out on the field. Yes, he has to be accountable. He said all the right things. He said all the right things last week also, but it's not working. So I think coaching is a major factor in why Carson Wentz isn't playing well, number one. There are other factors. His offensive line, those guys played terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. And once again, I'll say, you cannot win with Big V playing.
Ooh.
Say what you want to say.
You talk about me firing shots.
No, I mean, no, I'm not.
What?
Let me tell you, I'm not firing shots. I'm just simply seeing what I see on the field. When you are getting your ass kicked, you got to know when to say, all right, I'm going to stop this. At this point, I will not get my ass kicked again. I'm going to go out there and fight. And that's what you have to do. You have to go out there and seize the day, man. I don't see him out there fighting enough. I don't see him out there. At the end of the day, help your quarterback up. I don't see that. I mean, there's so many factors and variables that are not being accounted for that's really, being shown on the field that we're not talking about. And that's the problem. Little things like being more aggressive when you're blocking somebody. Being more aggressive on run plays instead of backing up as a pass play. Understanding what the play is. Okay, you're going to flip-flop a little. You started the game at right guard. Now you're a right tackle. Then also, understand it, Carson, you got to play where you got to get the ball to the running back. He's wide open. It might have been a score. That's the difference between 3 points and 6 points. And it didn't happen. Yes, he's got to hold himself accountable. Carson's going to do that. But I don't know who's the ones, helping him out as far as getting better as a quarterback. Who's coaching him up? Who's in his ear telling him what he's doing wrong? I saw a lot of footwork things that weren't right. I saw a lot of mechanical things that aren't right. The mechanics, footwork, those are all things that have been taught on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then you play and show what you did during the practice week, and you display it on Sunday. And I didn't see it.
I think right now, not long term, I think right now Carson is a little gun shy. If I'm Carson Wentz and I step under center and I look to my right, and my right guard and my right tackle, 2 Pro Bowlers are not there,
yes,
I got a problem.
Right.
When I look behind me and my lead running back is not there, I got a problem.
Right.
And when I get back to pass and the top three wide receivers that I have are not there, I got a problem.
No question.
Okay? And for whatever reason, they're not moving him out of the pocket. He's taking unnecessary shots in that pocket.
Coaching.
And that's for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Play calling.
And you know what? You know this as well as I do. You get hit in the mouth enough, mentally it starts to wear you down,
sir,
as well as physically.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So, you might feel fresh by Friday, but on Sunday night, man, you got bruises here, you got lumps over here, and it keeps going on, man. And all of a sudden it just wears you down instead of lifts you up, man. And you don't heal as quickly as you did the week before because you took a worse beating this week than you did last week, and last week was bad enough. And people keep talking about Carson's holding the ball too long. If I'm Carson Wentz, I step back, I can't throw to him. He might not catch it.
Right.
You look this way, I can't throw to him. I'm not familiar with this.
He's not running the right route. That's a lot.
I'm not running the right route. Also, yeah, but you know what? As a quarterback, you got to adjust on a route also. Every good quarterback can adjust. I know you throw spots at times, but if the receiver's here and not over here, and you 6'5" and you got a clear lane, you got to put the ball here instead of here. It's that simple.
You got to almost hand it to him.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know what? To go back to your initial thought, though, you didn't fire a shot. You threw a grenade over the wall, but that's okay. Though. I liked it. Finally, I liked it. All right, let's move on to a little bit more serious topic. Brandon Brooks was forced to leave yesterday's game due to an illness related to anxiety, something he's openly dealt with and discussed throughout his career. Brooks attempted to play through his illness, but said he felt exhausted. Now, Brooks released this statement following the game on Twitter. In part, it read, "The nausea and vomiting came back until I left the field, and I tried everything I could to get back from my teammates, but just wasn't able to. Make no mistakes, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed by this, nor what I go through daily. I've had this under control for a couple of years and had a setback yesterday. The only thing I'm upset about is that when my team needed me, I wasn't able to be out there with or for them. Lastly, I appreciate the support from my coaches, teammates, and fans. It doesn't go unnoticed." Now, Brooks missed 2 games in 2016, dealing with anxiety. Barrett, You're talking about an all-pro dealing with this. It just goes to show you just how much mental health matters in all walks of life and how much it matters when it comes to team play as well.
No question. People think the game is all physical. You think you got guys 6'5", 330 pounds that that they go out there, they can conquer the world. Well, I'll tell you this. The game is 80% mental and 20% physical. When you go out there, if you're not tied into it and your body's not tied into your mind, it's hard to go out there and do anything. It's not just going out there and just blasting somebody up the ball. It's thinking strategically and making sure you're optimizing your body and what it's doing. And mental health is something that's almost like a taboo in the locker room. You're always made to feel like you got to be the strongest guy. You got to be the fastest guy.
Yep.
You got to be the most mentally smart guy also. And I'm glad that he's, making this, an issue with everybody, that they understand what he's going through, man. I big up to him. Mental health is a lot more important sometimes than physical health. So the fact that he's going out there and sharing with everybody and knowing that, the other people are going through the same thing, other players that are going through the same thing, just goes to show, man, this guy's A1. And I understand, man, I know a lot of people that I played with had these type of issues, didn't know how to handle it because you don't speak on it. There's no dialogue on it in the locker room, and he's, allowing them to go out there and do it now.
We've been delving into this mental health issue this month here at NBC Sports Philadelphia, including our documentary Headstrong. Barrett, you were part of a symposium on the topic as well.
Yes, exactly. And it was great because it gave us some lingo. It gave us some dialogue. It gave us, almost a dictionary that we can use to go out there and tell people about mental health and how it affects not just NFL football players, but also at the NFL level, the college level, even those kids out there playing in the streets. Those are all issues that, a lot of men don't talk about.
Brandon Brooks, just know there's a lot of people out here who are praying for you.
Yep,
pulling for you, man.
Yep.
All right, we're going to step aside for the first time in this show. I get a chance to go gun-on-one with Rodney McLeod on the defense's dominance. Plus, hear Malcolm Jenkins' advice for the offense as we welcome in Ruben Frank to play some hearsay when this edition of Quick Slants continues. For the past 4 games, they've allowed just 15 points per and under 300 yards per outing. They've also taken down the opposing quarterback 13 times. After the loss yesterday, I went gun-on-one with safety Rodney McLeod. 2 straight games now, you guys hold 2 of the better offenses in the National Football League to 17 points, and yet you come up with 2 L's. How frustrating is that?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. We play this game to win, and that's all that matters to us. And however we get it done defensively is great, but when the outcome isn't a win, man, it's crushing. It's devastating for us. And so, two losses at home where we usually play well, it's frustrating. But, the exciting thing is, man, there's 5 more left.
What has been a big reason for the turnaround on the defense, especially the last 4 games for that matter?
Just a level of focus, getting guys back healthy, and the mentality that I think, how we've approached, man, and us trying to make, a statement to not only the league, but, our team as well. It's been great, man, playing good ball right now at this point in the season. But like I said, it means nothing when you're not walking away with the win. So we're going to get back to work as a team. And, man, defensively, we're going to go out there and do the same thing. We got to now take it to the next level and not only create turnovers, but we got to get in the end zone as well.
Now, McLeod, the Eagles defense created 2 turnovers yesterday and celebrated with group photos each time. He said in the locker room they were trying to fire the crowd and the offense up. All right, Barrett, are you cool with this considering they were down by a couple of scores?
Not really, man. Go out there and you play.
Thank you.
At this point, it's not cool. When you're out there getting your butt kicked, man, just get back to the huddle, man, make it happen, man. But, hey, this is new age players, man.
Yeah,
new age players.
I brought it up on social media on Twitter, and in the majority of the responses, a lot of them agree with me. Why are you celebrating like this? And a few people are like, well, the defense was the only thing doing something. Let them celebrate. No! Spike the ball, high-five your teammate, get off the field. Hopefully, your offense does something, which did not happen. Quick Slants returns in 90 seconds with our colleague, Ruben Frank. I'll play a series of sound bites following yesterday's loss and then let you hear them, and you get to say your piece. Up first, Doug Peterson on Carson Wentz's struggles yesterday.
Our issues on offense tonight or today were not about Carson Wentz. Obviously he's a part of it. This is an offensive issue. So starts with me. I gotta look at it. I gotta make my own assessment of my performance, and then we'll coach the players this week and we'll get better.
All right, are you buying that it's not Wentz's fault, sir?
Well, I agree that it's not entirely Wentz's fault.
I agree
Certainly
there.
he isn't getting a lot of help out there. His receivers stink. His O-line was in disarray. But he's got to make the throws.
Thank you.
He's got to make the throws when a guy's open. And there's a reason they're paying him $100-some-odd million, and it's to be the best player in the field. And he wasn't that on Sunday. Now, it doesn't mean I don't believe in him over the long run. And I think Doug backed off of that a little bit on Monday, just kind of putting a little more blame on Carson. He talked about his footwork, talked about the way he's seeing the field, holding the ball. So he was a little more accountable for Carson on Monday. But after the game, I thought he protected him too much. Carson's a big boy. He can handle it.
Absolutely. You're talking about the guy that's, not just because he's the highest paid player on the team, but you're the quarterback. You're going to take the blunt of that. Because just like when you win, you'll get all the praise. And you also, when you go out there and you mess up, you're going to get all the negativity also.
All right, here now, Malcolm Jenkins offering up some advice to his offense.
The way our defense has been playing is, I think our offense doesn't have to be, frustrated by punting or, kicking field goals. As long as we end it with a kick, I think, we're good because it's been, one-score games, it's been a tight game. So we got to get comfortable as a team, to win those games that are 12-9 or 9-6.
Is the defense starting to get frustrated with the counterparts?
Well, yeah, I think they are, but I think he raises a great point in that, and again, there's games this year where the offense certainly carried the defense.
Sure.
Early in the season, the defense was terrible, but I think he's absolutely right. This team has to learn, and this offense has to learn, and this quarterback has to learn, if you're in this kind of game, there's nothing wrong with going 3 and out and punting the ball down to the 12-yard line. Play that field position game. That's what the Seahawks did. That's what the Patriots did more than they didn't care if they were going. They went at 3 and out like 9 straight times. Just punt it and let the other team make a mistake. And the Eagles have to learn. Carson has to learn not to take those risks in that kind of game. If it's like a 48-41 wide open kind of run and gun game, no pun intended.
Oh, I thought it was a shot at me for me.
Then it could have been. Then you're going to have those kind of things. But in a game like that, close to the vest game, field position game, you've got to avoid those kind of mistakes because one of them could cost you the game. Certainly 5 of them is definitely going to be costly.
Definitely. I mean, look at it, too many turnovers, especially on crucial parts of the field. When you're on your side of the field, these last 2 games, I had 2 of them. So he's got to take care of the ball, more pocket presence, and offense just have to step up. I don't care who you're throwing. If you're throwing to the trash, man, he better start catching it.
Greg Garrity?
Yeah. Offensive line has had its issues. Here now, Jason Peters on the possibility of playing right tackle if Lane Johnson is forced to miss yet more time.
How foreign would it feel for you to play right tackle?
That's why I started at. It wouldn't be super foreign, but I mean, it's a possibility with Lane being out. I might have to just do it just for the team.
Rube, why didn't they do this in the first place?
Well, you have a talent like Big V on the roster.
Hand grenades are being launched all over this show today.
There's a lot of things. Why didn't they do in the first place?
Yeah.
Why didn't they have Greg Ward playing in the first place? But that's another story.
Yeah, the season, yeah.
I think ideally you want JP at left tackle. He's been there, for the last decade. But I'd feel a lot better if JP is willing to do it with him on the right. Now, I think Lane's going to play against Miami, but certainly it's something that they should have considered. Move JP to the right side. You have a rookie like Dillard who's been okay on the left side. Obviously, the transition to the right side was a lot, it was too much for him to handle. So it's certainly something they should have looked at.
Yeah, I knew that because, you have a guy, that's all he's been doing his whole career. He's been a left tackle. Then you actually play right. And especially in a situation with a live game in the NFL, it just didn't make sense to me. And I try to get, on the pregame show, tell how hard it is. It's just a tough situation.
That's how he played.
All right, Ruben Frank drops his 10 observations after every game and records the Eagle Eye podcast with Dave Zangaro. Be sure to check out his work and his verbal thoughts. All was not lost this Sunday for the Eagles. The Cowboys' loss keeps the Birds very much alive in the NFC East race. But how will the final 5 weeks play it out? We'll talk about that as we wrap it up.
Team Toyota's Black Friday event is...
Brandon Graham didn't get a chance to tell me wrong again, D. Gunn. Instead, we got 5 left, that's all I'm saying. And those 5 happen to give the Eagles the easiest remaining schedule in the National Football League. Meanwhile, Cowboys are right back at it after losing to the Patriots. They will host the Bills on Thanksgiving Day, then face the Bears and the Rams, oh my, before a crucial Week 16 game here. The Link against the Birds. Barrett, how do you see it playing itself out?
So I'm going to say it's Dallas. I mean, come on, we played Miami. Then we played the Giants twice, the Redskins.
Yeah.
It's Dallas. It's all about Dallas, man. It's going to be all turned around on Dallas week. 16, baby. Week 16 is going down, man. Can we beat up on Dak? Can we beat up on Ezekiel Elliott? Period, point blank, it's Dallas week. That's all I'm going to say.
Eagles are smart enough to know they cannot overlook any opponent. I don't care what the record says, but they have got to get healthy because some of these games could be a lot closer than they should be, and you don't want to have some fluke outcome deciding any one of those games that they should win.
They should win all of them.
Yes.
Dallas! Period.
Say it again?
Dallas.
Okay. All right, that's a wrap for this edition of Week Slants presented by New South and Barrett Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Ruben Frank. I'm Derrick Gunn. Have a good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Dallas!
Gotta beat Dallas.